I'll go back to my other one because I'm in the midst of engraving. And just unloaded my mat. So I do layer by layer because it's easier and it's not as, I don't want to say it's not as time consuming because that's a big fat lie. But especially when you have all these layers, I feel like the Cricut kind of does what it wants to do. It does its own little thing. Cricut gives no shits whatsoever. And if you try to engrave more than one at a time, it doesn't do that all of one layer and then do the other layers. So I feel like you get almost like a an argyle pattern. You get V's and it's not uniform, and my OCD, ADHD, whatever, my perfectionism just cannot handle it because I don't like the way it looks. It's not as bad on acrylic as it is on metal. It's terrible on metal. Let me see if I have any. I just did those little things the other day. And I don't remember which ones I did that had. Let me look. Because I know there was a couple that did one way. Here's one of them. Here's another. Alright. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this. Because these have glitter behind them. Put you on my desk. Lovely. Alright, so I don't know if you can see this, but you see how you can tell that it went one way in certain areas and another way in certain areas? I don't like that. It kind of makes me a little crazy. Like right here by the heart, you can see it made like a V. If you do layer by layer, it's much more uniform. All the top layer of, no matter how many layers you do, if you have 5 layers, if you have 10 layers, no matter how many, if you do one layer at a time, the top layer is all facing the same way. And it just makes my heart a little happier. Oop. Alright. So like I said, I have already done I've done 3 layers. And I just turn them on and off as I need them. So like this layer's done, so we're going to turn it off and we're going to turn on the next one up, which is that. Just go to make it. It's going to tell it's too big, but yeah, I know, because I've got a big mat in there. And now you'll see, I mean, you can't see, but you can see because the gray part's gone, but it all stays in the same position that it should be in because it's all attached to that little circle that we put in there. Go to next screen. I'm using 2mm acrylic. And obviously it's going to tell you what to do. Now, because I'm doing so many layers, I don't change my pressure. I leave the pressure at default just because layer by layer by layer by layer by layer, it gets deeper. All right, so let's see if I can get this to cooperate. Unplug my phone. All right, so this is what I have so far. It's kind of hard to tell because acrylic is so glossy, but that's what I've got so far. And it's kind of ASMR-y to kind of watch it. I don't know if anybody remembers like the old Create cards. That's what I think these are like. They remind me of the Create cards because they draw line by line. So we've got 3 layers done. Oh, we have way too many to go. Oops, sorry, my finger's in the way. How many we got to go? Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I have 8 layers, not 9, I thought. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we have 8. We have 5 to go. Let me get this going back in here. All right, so I don't know if anybody saw when I did my failed attempt, which was lovely. And I used one of these suckers to keep it from being so dusty. The acrylic dust is unfortunately going to get everywhere. I use one of those, and I use a lint roller, and I roll the crap out of it in between. Now, one thing that Clever Some Days suggests is to pause it every so often and like clean off your tool, clean off your everything. I have found that doing that causes line skipping. I try not to unless I absolutely have to stop it. Like if I see big strings getting stuck or something like that, I try not to stop it because I feel like that causes the line skipping, and you can see those, especially in these bigger projects where you have a longer line instead of just short little bitty lines. I try my damnedest not to stop it. You can use a strong grip mat. You still have to tape it all 4 sides. I use just a skinnier tape on this side just because this one, since it is bigger and to allow for my star wheels, I had to have it over off the edge. Normally I would put it at like 1 and 1 and it wouldn't be in the way. So I tape it all 4 sides, but I also do score tape on the back of it. So this way it sticks real good to it. I actually have some jigs that I've made for like Christmas ornaments and stuff that I just leave the tape on there, and you can stick it and re-stick it and re-stick it, and like it doesn't move. Alright, layer 4 is in the works.